guys, and welcome. Today's project is going to be a quick release buckle collar that is St. Patrick's Day themed. And the supplies that you'll need for this collar are, I am using a 1-inch light gold quick release buckle as well as a 1-inch light gold O-ring. For the cord that I'll be using today, I'm using all 550 Paracord. So I'm using 2 strands of goldenrod. One is slightly longer than the other because that's what I'll be doing my double cow's hitch with. I also have a white, Kelly green, and a burnt orange. Now my burnt orange was extremely stiff, so I decided to gut it, and that will make it a little bit softer for me to work with. Okay, to start, what we're going to do is we are going to take our longer strand of goldenrod, fold it in half, and make a loop. When you have that done, you can take your right strand and just pull down on it about 1 inch or so. Then you're going to take your buckle and your loop. You're going to put your loop through this bottom slit of your buckle. Doesn't matter which end that I know of. But I'm going on the side that's inserting itself into the buckle. So I'm going to take my loop now and I'm going to go from front to back through that slit. You have your loop on the back side. You can pull that over your buckle and then pull down, and you have your first cow's hitch. Take your right cord now, and what I like to do is just pull it out and then create a loop. Take that loop, go through the buckle again the same way, go from front to back. Pull your loose end through. You have this loop right here. If you don't pull it like if you have it like that, then you can just pull on this end a little bit to make it loose. You're going to take your loose cord and that's on your right, and you're going to just go from front to back through that. You're going to take your loose cord and you're going to go from back to front through that loop and pull it through. And you can pull that tight. Next, you're going to go over towards your right. You can again make a small loop, and you're going to go from back to front now. So you're just going to take your loop, and you want to be on the right side of your 2 cords over here. So you want to go through just like that. You have this loop that you are making right now. Take your cord, go down that loop. So bring it down and pull it, and then you have your second cow's hitch. Now we're going to go on the other side. So for this project, I want to take my O-ring, and what I'd like to do is, I've seen this done and I really want to try it out. So I see people putting their O-ring next to their buckle and having their O-ring and their buckle all in one. So you're going to, if you know how to do the double cow's hitch and you know this setup, you're just adding the ring to the buckle. And if you're not familiar with it, what we're going to do is we're going to take our ring, we're going to place it right next to our buckle. Make sure that your cords aren't twisted. Take your cord on the right. You can make a small loop like I do. You're going to go through the O-ring and you're going to go through that slit in the buckle from front to back. You can pull it out a little bit. And what you can do here is you can unfasten the buckle, Take your loop and now bring it over that end of the buckle and the O-ring and pull that down, and that makes your first cow's hitch. I like to buckle mine up again. Take your cord down that's on the left, make a loop. You're going to go from front to back again through the O-ring and that slit. You're going to bring your cord down the middle of your cow's hitches. You're going to go right down that middle. So you have your cow's hitch here. You have your cord that you're working with that went through, and you're right in the center. You're now going to go over to the left like that. You can make another loop, and now you're going to go from back to front. So you're going to go through the slit and then the O-ring with that left cord. Be all the way towards the left of your work. You can pull up on that. And I'm going to pull that through. So if you pulled it all the way through, you have this lump down here. And that's the cord that you just went through the front to the back. You can pull out on that a little bit, grab your loose cord, pull it down, and then you have your second cow's hitch hooked up. And now we can put it on the jig and measure out everything that we need to do. So I have my jig here, and I am going to unbuckle these. The one thing about working with the metal buckles is that they fit on the ends of the jig. If you're working with a plastic buckle, you'll need an extra buckle to hook up to your jig. And what I mean by that is you need the So here's one of the plastic ones that I have. Once you have the cord through these ends, through the slit, there's not a lot of room to be able to fit it onto your jig. So what is recommended is that you take an extra buckle and you use the whole thing, so you can use this top slit when your cords are coming out of the bottom slit. If you choose to do it that way, please remember that you're adding an extra buckle to your measurement. So you want to subtract that. Alrighty, so I'm trying to get this all somewhat nice and neat. So I'm going to hook up my work to my jig, and then I'm going to tighten everything up and measure it. I'm going to start adding my cords now, and I'm going to start with my golden rod first. And then what I want to do here is I'm going to go in between these two cow's hitches, so I'm going to loosen them up a little bit. I am using a paracord needle. You don't have to. You can melt your end and you can work it through still. So I'm going to go right in this one first cow's hitch, and then in between the second cow's hitch, pull it to the other side and bring the top of my, bring the middle of my cord to the top of my work. Okay, so for my next cord that I want to add, it's going to be the Kelly green, and I'm going to have to loosen up my jig so I can take off my top of my work, because I need to put the Kelly green on, and that tongue on my jig is in my way. So what you're going to want to do here is you want to take your Kelly green, you want to fold it in half. You want to put this loop down that slit on your buckle. So you're going to go down that slit on your buckle with that loop. Bring that loop down. So now here's my loop. I'm going to take these cords now, these 2 cords of green, I'm going to push them through the O-ring and then push them through the loop. So I'm going to push them through the O-ring, push them through the loop, and then pull it. You're just making a cow's hitch with the green. In between, you want it in between these 2 goldenrod cow's hitches. So now I put it back onto my jig and I'm going to tighten everything up again. And once I get all my cords on, I will be double checking my measurements because I just did that. You should double check them anyways, but I'm going to definitely make sure. The next cord that I'm going to add is the white. What I'm going to be doing with this cord is I'm going to go right in between the green cow's hitch, just the green one. Just going to go right in between that one. Pull this to the other side, bring the middle of the cord up to the top of my work. Okay, so once you have that all taken care of, double check your measurements, because if you did what I did and you took your top part of your buckle off your jig to put the green in, you definitely, check those measurements, make sure that nothing moved around and everything is where it's supposed to be, and we can get started. So I'm going to be starting on my right side with my smaller bundle of goldenrod. I want to go underneath my first cord, right up the middle, over that second cord. So I'm going to take my goldenrod on my right, go underneath that first cord, right up the middle, and then over. Take the smaller bundle on your left now, go underneath the cord that you just worked. You're going to go underneath your first cord, which is now on your left side, right up the middle, and then over that cord on your right. So just go underneath, right up the middle, and then over. Next, you're going to take your larger bundle of goldenrod. What you're going to do here on the right is you're going to go over, you're going to take your cord and you're going to go over and around and right up this loop on your right side that you just made. So go over and you're going to go around these 2 cords right here because you're going to come up this loop. So come up this loop. Next, you're going to take the one on the left and you're going to go over and then just go around those 2 cords right there on your left and come up this loop on your left. So take your cord on your left, go over and around and right up that left cord, that left loop, sorry. And now we're going to put on our orange. So for our orange, what we're going to do here is we want to take our end and we're going to go underneath these 2 elongated cords. And I don't know if that's a word, but that's what I always say these long cords are. I call them the elongated cords. So we're going to go underneath those 2 cords. So just go underneath and then up. So you'll be above your goldenrod cords here. And you're just going to go underneath and you want to find the middle of the orange cord and bring it to your top of your work. And I work on an inclining desk, so I'm going to be kind of sticking this cord. I have a very small clothespin and I'm just going to stick it to the ring like that, just to hold it up for me a little bit because it does like to come down on me. Okay, so when we get to this spot, what we're going to want to do first is find the 2 horizontal pieces of goldenrod that are directly in the middle, and you can pull up on them a little bit. What we're going to do now is we're going to take our white on our right side, and we want to go over those 2 horizontal pieces and come up right up the middle. You'll be on the left side of your working cord. So take your white on the right and go over and around those 2 horizontal pieces and bring it straight up that center. And now you're on the left side of your working cord, and you can drape that down. Take your white on the left. You're going to go around those pieces again and you come straight up the middle. So go over and around those horizontal pieces and come straight up the middle. You'll be on the right side now of your working cord, and you can drape that one down. The next step, we are going to go all the way to the right of our white cord on the right. Find your 2 horizontal pieces that are there. Now we're going to take our green on the right, we're going to go around those 2 horizontal pieces, and we're going to come right up on the left side of our working cord, and that will put us in between the green and the white. So take the one on the right, go over and around, come up. You'll be on the left side of your working cord. You're also directly in the middle of the white and the green. Pull that up. You can drape that one down. Go to the other side. Find those 2 horizontal pieces on the left side of your white, and you're going to go around those pieces again with the left green cord, and you're going to come up on the right side of your working cord, and it will bring you directly in the middle of the white and the green. So take the one on the left, go over and around and come up. You'll be on the the right side of your working cord, and you're coming up in between the green and the white, and now you can tighten it up. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to take your 2 white cords and put them at the top. Make sure that they're not twisted at all. You can also roll up your orange cord if you'd like. Okay, so we're going to start the weave again. And you're going to take your smaller bundle of goldenrod. You're going to go underneath that first cord, right up the center over that second cord. Take your goldenrod small bundle on the left side now. Go underneath the cord that you just worked. Underneath the first cord, right up the center over that second cord. Now you're going to take your larger bundle of goldenrod, and we want to go over and around and up through that loop on the right. So take the one on the right, go over and around, and then you're going to go up through that loop on the right. Take the one on the left now, go over and around and right up that loop on the left. So go over, around, and up that loop on the left. Now we're going to start with our green, and we're going to find those 2 horizontal pieces of goldenrod that are directly in the middle and pick up on them a little bit. Take your green that is on your right side, go over and around and straight up the middle. Just go over and around those 2 horizontal pieces straight up the middle, and now you can drape that down. Take the one on the left. You're going to go again over and around and straight up the middle. So go over and around, straight up the middle. And you can drape that one down as well. Now we're going to take the orange on the right side. We are going to find those two horizontal pieces that are all the way to the right of the green cord. And we're going to take the orange now, and we're going to go over and around and right up the left side of your working cord. So go over and around, and you'll be on the left side of your working cord, which brings you in between the green and the orange. Drape that one down. Take the one on the left now. Find those two horizontal pieces on the left of the green. You're going to go over and around, and you'll be on the right side of your working cord. So go over and around, come up the right side, which will put you right in between the orange and the green. And then you can tighten it up. So once you have it tightened up again, you can start that weave all over again. And it did take a little bit of time to get it to lie the way it's supposed to. Just be patient with yourself when you're tightening it up and take your time. So I'm going to start the weave the same way. I did put my green cords to the top because those are the ones that will be going to the top. Whatever is directly in the middle of your weave that you're starting, those are the ones that are going to go to the top because you're going to skip over those. So I'm going to start on my right side again, and there it is. Move that up a little bit. Alright, moved it up a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to start on my right side again with the smaller bundle of goldenrod. I'm going to go underneath that first cord, right up the middle, then over that second cord. I'm going to take the smaller bundle of goldenrod on my left, and I'm going to go underneath the cord that I just worked. I'm going to go underneath the first cord, which is on my left now, right up the middle again, and then over. Now I'm going to take my larger bundle of goldenrod. I'm going to go over and around and up this loop. So go over and around and up this loop. Take the one on the left now, and you're going to go over and around and up the loop. Now I'm going to find my two horizontal goldenrod pieces in the middle. So I'm going to start with my orange that is on my right. And when you're starting these weaves around these two horizontal pieces, you're always going to be starting with the first one to the right or to the left. So I'm going to take the one on my right. I'm going to go over and around and right up the middle. So over, around, right up the middle, and then I'm going to drape it down. Next, I'm going to take the orange on my left and find those two horizontal pieces, go over and around and right up the middle, and then drape it down. Now I'm going to take the white on my right side, find those two horizontal pieces to the right of your orange, and you're going to go over and around, be on the left side of your working cord, and you'll come up in between the orange and the white. Go on your left, find those two horizontal pieces, you're going to go over and around, and you'll be on the right side of your working cord. You're going to come up in between your white and your orange, And now you can tighten it up. Alright, once you have that weave tightened up, we can start all over again. And with this weave, you're just going to be rotating the green, the orange, and the white down the middle part of the collar. So I'm basically back to the beginning of where I started. I'm going to take my orange pieces now and I'm going to put them at the top. And I'm going to start to weave. So I'm going to be starting with my smaller bundle of goldenrod, come right up the middle and over to my left. Take the left cord of the smaller bundle, go underneath the cord that I just worked, right up the middle again, and then over. Take my goldenrod on my left side, the bigger bundle. I'm going to go over and around and right up that loop. On my right, take the one on my left, go over and around and right up that loop on my left. Find those two horizontal pieces in the middle. My white is the one that's all the way to the right, so I'm going to start there. I'm going to take my white on my right, I'm going to go over and around and right up the middle and drape it down. Take the white on my left, go over and around and right up the middle and drape it down. Find those two horizontal pieces to the right of my white, take my green, and I'm going to go over and around those two horizontal pieces and come up on the left side of my working cord. Go to the other side, the left, and take your left cord of green. And you're going to go over and around and come up the right side of your working cord, and then you can tighten it up. Okay guys, so I went down a few more weaves so you can see a bigger area done, and you can see how the green, orange, and the white are just forming that pattern in the middle. And I am going to continue this weave all the way down the collar, and when I get to the end I'll show you guys how I do my tie off and what it looks like when it's completely done. Alright guys, so I'm at the end of my collar and I'm going to weave in the top cords, which are my orange, white, and green cords. In the video I just showed you guys that I made a mistake with the green, and I wanted to show you guys what exactly I did wrong. So you can see all of these stitches coming straight down, and then you get to the green and there's a bump right here. With this particular weave right here, what I did was, instead of going on the inside when I wrapped my cords around the two horizontal cords, I went to the left with the cord, and that's what caused that bump to happen. Now this is a collar for washer, so I kind of lucked out with that, but if this was a customer's collar, because I cut and melted and glued everything, I would have to redo the whole entire collar. I would not be able to take it apart to fix this one little thing. And that's a real shame because it's very close to the edge. It would have been a super easy fix. My suggestion for myself and for you guys is, before you cut and melt everything, double check, triple check. Make sure that you don't see any mistakes. I only caught this mistake for some reason when I was editing the video. And I thought I looked over everything and I just missed it. So I suggest to check it a couple of times, you know, slowly, to make sure that you don't have any mistakes, because it can happen. Alright, let's get back to the video. So the first cord that I'm going to work through is the green on my right side. And you have a small hole in between these two cow's hitches. You're going to go through that hole with the cord on your right and left of the green. The next cord that you're going to work through is the orange, and you're going to be on your right side. You have a hole right here on your right side in between your cow's hitch and your work. You're going to go through that hole on your right, and then there's one on the left that you're going to also go through. So I'm just going to push that through, and then I'll do the left. And for the white, you're going to start on your right side. And what you want to do is you want to go through that hole that you went through with the orange on the right side, but you want to take your cord to the right of the orange. And then when you work the left side, you want to go all the way to the left of the orange. And I'm going to go about a quarter of an inch up from the collar. I'll fray these out. Now these two are right next to each other, so I am going to because these two cords are so close together, I'm going to just melt them both at the same time and then squish them down. And unfortunately this guy didn't stick, so melt him some more. And now squish that one down. I will do the same for the opposite side. So once you have both sides done, we can start on the middle cords. And for this collar, I think I'm going to start on my right side with the orange cords. I will cut and burn each one at a time. And then I will do the white cords one at a time. And then the green. So I'm going to start with my orange. And because this cord is gutted, it might take a little bit to melt it. So I'm going to take a little bit above a quarter of an inch off. Also, be very careful that you don't catch it on fire, because you're going to be holding the flame to it a little bit longer because it doesn't have the cords that are in the middle. So I'm just going to get it hot and then pull away and then try and get it hot some more. I'm going to squish this one down. Do the same for the opposite side. And then I will do the white and then the green. Alright, once you're done with that part, you can use the collar as is, but I do like to put a little bit of Gorilla clear non-foaming glue around the ends that I just melted. It's just a little bit of an extra security. So what I'll do is I will put some around the cords that I put through that I melted, and also the caps of the sides. And a little bit goes a long way with this stuff. And you're just going to put it on. And I'm having a little bit of a hard time. Ugh. Okay, so I'm having a hard time with my glue right now, but I would put it on and then I rub it around those areas. I let that dry. So I'm going to work on this glue, and when the collar is dry, I'll let you guys see what the finished look looks like.